Hey, so this video is for people who are like stuck in abusive environments. Like if you still have to live with your family, or if you're living with a narcissist and you feel like you're like stuck and powerless. I'm going to share with you some of the tactics that manipulators use and abusers and narcissists use so that you can spot the red flags that like an abusive person is about to do something. And this is called preemptive manipulation. So what they do is, when you have I'm going to give a few examples of this just so you can understand it more. One time I was talking to this woman, and like this was like a professional setting, and all of a sudden she's like, man, I'm really tired. And it was like really random and like unprofessional for her to say that. And then right after she said that, she said something really like rude and disrespectful. And so this was a preemptive manipulation, right? She made an excuse for her behavior before she even did the behavior, so that when she did it, I would be more likely to make an excuse for her, right? Oh, she's just tired. Oh, she didn't mean to say that. She didn't mean to speak to me like that. She's just tired. And that causes confusion, right? And this pattern overall is like, it shows that that person's identity is based on excusing her actions, right? So it's not like she was literally thinking in her head, I'm gonna say this and this person is gonna make an excuse for me so they don't see I'm disrespecting her. She didn't have to be malicious like that, but it just shows a pattern in her unconsciousness where she makes excuses for her behavior and doesn't take responsibility for them. And when I say responsibility, we mean like, you are responsible for changing your behavior, for making yourself a better person. They don't take the responsibility to do anything about their negative behaviors, the way that they're rude to people, the way that they disrespect people. And so yeah, and you can tell this, like, abusers do this a lot, where they will like create a problem or do something fucking insane that's like really sly and like secretive and like manipulative, and you're like, why the fuck would anyone ever do that? Like, what is wrong with you? And like most people would be like not even believing that a person could even like go this far to do something like that. For example, like leaving the door open and then telling your husband, like if your mom leaves the door open on purpose to tell your dad that you keep leaving the door open. That type of thing. Like, who does that? You know what I mean? So this is like the preemptive manipulation. So it's like they will make up things that you do to like mess up your reputation with others. And then when they have their big narcissistic blow-ups in rage, their anger, then they already have an excuse for themselves and to the others around them as to why they're raging and why they're blowing up and why it's not entirely their fault, even though it is absolutely their fault. And so this can be conscious or unconscious, but when you, hold on, it's fucking beautiful out here. Oh my god. It's kind of cold. But so when you are, this is like really cool how it's like kind of, you have to get good at spotting this, because this is how they justify their actions. They're like, she did this to me, you did this to me, you did all these little things that either they created or don't matter, and they use that to excuse themselves when they're about to start screaming. And it doesn't have to be malicious, but it can come from an overall like a feeling of powerlessness. So they feel powerless to themselves and their own behavior. Like, they don't know how to stop blowing up in anger. They don't know how to stop like doing the things that they do. So in order to like live and cope with that, they have to make up these excuses and come up with reasons as to why they're behaving in this way that aren't that have to do with everyone else and not just them. I hope this is making sense. I feel like I kind of explained this like all over the place. But another thing is like when you when abusers I don't know what I was gonna say. I wish I knew how. Okay, the powerlessness. So they're like, they have this illusion in their mind that like so when they were a kid, by the way, narcissists, all kids start out innocent, pure beings of love and light. Narcissists are not just spoiled, entitled children. That's a myth. But every children starts out innocent, and then they're conditioned into being abusive. And when they were kids, they were powerless to the behaviors that happened to them, the control, the shaming, the guilting, the anger, the confusion, the manipulation. They were powerless to it. They felt powerless to it. And so they still feel powerless to that, and now it exists within themselves. They feel powerless by themselves, so they don't know how to stop acting the way that they do because of this powerlessness. So then they do what was done to them, to others, and they also feel powerless to stop it. So narcissism is really cool. It's like they're abusing themselves, not just you. They're abusing themselves. And really, once you like kind of step out of the manipulation games and you can see them more clearly, they can do like they can irritate you, they can annoy the fuck out of you, they can frustrate the hell out of you, and they're just overall like mind-boggling. But they can't abuse you in the way that they used to once you really see through them. And really, they're just pulling you into their own illusions and their own abuse of themselves, if that makes any sense. I hope the wind isn't too loud. It'd be windy as fuck, but I'm gonna turn this way because my hands are cold. But yeah, so they also like, so another example of this preemptive manipulation is like, you know how when your parents, I don't know, I'm young, so like I still remember my parents, how they treated me, but how they treat me when they like get mad at you for like not doing things that they don't do. Like for example, they'll leave their dishes in the sink, and then they're constantly getting mad at you for leaving your dishes in the sink. But like even if you clean their dishes, they're never like clean your dishes or help out around the house, they're never like recognizing you. It's the same type of thing where they have to create things to be mad at you about so that they can excuse their own behavior. And it's a two-way thing, right? It excuses it to them, and then if you grew up around that, you were conditioned to excuse it as well. There's just something wrong with me every time. But once you get older, you start to realize like my parents are kind of fucking hypocritical, or this isn't me, this is so stupid, like they can't even see what I'm me, they're not even seeing me right. And so yeah, good thing to spot. And you have to be open to like the crazy ass things narcissists can do. Like I don't think that some of them plot and like are actually creative with it consciously, but others of them, it's just ingrained unconscious patterns. Like they're you know, the mind and the body, it grows and gets better at whatever you program it with, whatever you're doing constantly. So the more these narcissists excuse their behavior and do their narcissistic ways, the better they get at it without even trying, you know what I mean? And this is how all growth works, right? Because you don't have to like sit there all the time and be like, this is what I'm learning, this is what I'm growing. You just grow in the direction that you're taking action in. And narcissists are always taking action in the way of manipulating, excusing their behavior, absolving themselves of responsibility, denying things. So they just become better at denying things. And then they have these crazy unconscious behaviors where to them, they might not even see the truth of themselves in what they're doing. They absolutely don't. And that's another illusion, is that they don't see themselves clearly. If they looked back at their childhood and saw that they were not bad, that they were not a problem, that they didn't deserve what happened to them, they would be able to see that they were innocent, that we all started out innocent, that we all started out as innocent children. So now they see the same illusion of them in everyone for the rest of their life, where they just see themselves as bad. And it's like this cognitive dissonance of powerlessness, where it's like you think that you are you were gaslighted in childhood into thinking that this toxic behavior by your parents was normal. So now it's like they think that they're normal, but then they have this cognitive dissonance of seeing all the horrible things they do to people. But in childhood they were told that this is normal and that they were gaslighted into believing they're crazy. So it creates this really nasty and sad way of living for those types of people. So yeah. I wish I knew how to quit ya. I love this song. I'm not listening to it, but it's just always in my head. I wish I knew how to quit ya. Alright, well, is that all I wanted to say? Preemptive manipulation. Oh yeah, I was saying, like, be open to, like, what they can do. Like, narcissists be doing some shit that you're like, how do they even come up with this? Like, and that's the point, is doing things that are, that's what manipulators do, doing things that are so absurd and outrageous that, like, people won't believe the victim. Because it's hard to believe, right? And that's another illusion that people have, is that no one is malicious, no one is intentional about things they do, because it's a hard illusion to accept that some people harm each other. And I think it's kind of funny because we see, like, so much toxicity on social media, like crooked cops, corrupt cops, frickin' murder mysteries and all these things, but then when you talk to people in real life, they cannot imagine that someone might be manipulative enough to do something really sneaky to make you look like a bad person. Like, it's because it's this illusion. You have to accept the feelings that comes with, like, that this world is dangerous, that this world can be dangerous, that it can be unsafe, and that there are unsafe people, and you have to, like, really accept that truth that, like, yeah, people can be intentional and they can do really evil things. And even though I see it everywhere, you have to really feel it and accept that, and, like, ground it into your physical rather than just seeing it online, or, like, you know, kind of understanding that it's real. But once you experience, you know, people like me who've really experienced maliciousness and intentionalness, I don't doubt it because I've experienced it, you know. But yeah, I hope this could be helpful for you. I hope I love you, and see you in the next one. Bye.